What's up everyone, Glassford, founder of My Practice Interview, where I help you land your dream job. And today we're talking about the very common interview question, walk me through your resume. This one comes up, it comes up often, and I see so many times applicants just really struggling to answer this question. So today I'm gonna break it down for you. I've got 6 very simple tips that you can follow to structure your answer to make it the perfect answer to answer this type of question, which typically happens at the beginning of your interview. Remember, like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me get excited about continuing to make content for you. With over 25 years of real world HR experience, I am your true HR insider to help you navigate through that tricky recruitment process so you hear those magic words, you're hired. But you know what? We got to get going on today's video. Are you ready? I am. Let's go. So we're here today to talk about the question that gets asked often at the beginning of interviews, which is, walk me through your resume. Now, why on earth do us recruiters and hiring managers ask you that silly question? Do we actually want you just to read your resume and regurgitate it in front of us? Heck no. The reason we ask you this question, well, it's quite simple. Half the time we haven't actually read your resume, or at least we haven't read it prior to you coming into that interview. You see, we've got back-to-back interviews happening. We're meeting people. We're moving from one interview to the next, and we haven't had time to go back and review that resume. So that's part of the reason why we ask that question. It's like, hey, can you just refresh me with some of the top key points about yourself that you want me to know about you, so that we get a bit of a sense as to who you are before we get into the actual interview. That's why we're asking that question. It is very important that you understand that on the back end. Now, sometimes we also ask that question just because we want to get used to hearing your voice in the interview room. You're full of nerves. You're an applicant that's prepared. You really want this role. You're excited, and you're sitting in front of a hiring manager, recruiter, a group of people, and now you've got to come up and start talking to us and telling us about yourself and why you're the best person for this role. This is kind of an introductory question that gets you to think about how you want to talk about yourself, some of the key things about your past. It should be pretty easy for you to just talk about how the key skills that you have and experiences you have from previous roles align to the job that you're applying for. Trick is, and the problem is so many times, is that applicants haven't really put much thought into answering a question like this, and they kind of stumble when they ask the question, walk me through your resume. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. Now, one of the biggest mistakes I see applicants make when it comes to answering this question is they ramble on and on and on. They literally pick up their resume and start reading it from top to bottom, bullet point after bullet point after bullet point after bullet point. You don't want to do that. Your answer should not be 25 minutes. I've had applicants go on for 25 minutes. Not what you want to do. You will lose interest of that interviewer. We've got specific questions to really dig into your skills. We just want a brief overview. Your answer should be anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. Just keep it a nice, succinct summary. And I've got a beautiful script here to help you with that at the end of this video, okay? So the other question I get asked on this one too is, isn't the question, tell me about yourself, the same? Well, it kind of is, kind of isn't. So today we're focusing on walk me through your resume as that question comes out, and I want you to prepare for that. If you want to know about, tell me about yourself and how to answer that question, I've got a link right here that you can check out. It takes you right to another YouTube video where I break down that question and give you the perfect formula to answering that question. So make sure you check both videos out so you have full context as to how you can structure your answer. Now, let's get into the 6 tips. Let's get into the script as to how you build out the perfect answer to this question. 6 tips, are you ready? Here we go. Tip number 1, keep it quick. 1 to 3 minutes, that's all you need. It's a quick summary. It's getting you used to talking in that interview, selling yourself on some few key points about your experience as it relates to the role you've applied for and what you're most proud of, some of the things that set you apart, that you feel set you apart from your competition. So keep it quick. A War and Peace summary here for 25 minutes is not on the table. 1 to 3 minutes is all you need. Tip number 2, tailor your answer, okay? So this means that each job you apply for, each interview you apply for, you have to really think about the organization and about that role that you've applied for, and try and link in your experiences, some of the things that you feel are cool and set you apart from your competition, and how they relate to the role and the organization you've applied for. So tailor your answer specifically to the role and organization each and every time. A generic answer will not be good enough here. Make sure you tailor it. It will truly set you apart from your competition. Tip number 3, focus on achievements, not job description. So a lot of people get into the trap of just kind of reading bullet points on their resume that just talk about the job description. My job makes me do this, my job makes me do that, my job, I'm involved in this, blah, blah, boring. Don't do that. Focus on what you've achieved in your role. So if you want to talk about your previous job, sure, give a real quick summary as to what your role's all about, but then focus on the key achievements that you've done within that role that you're really proud of, that you feel would relate to the position you're applying for. It's such a great way to highlight your skills and experiences to that hiring manager, to that recruiter, to really set you apart from everybody else who's applied for that role. So focus on achievements. Tip number 4, choose the right structure. Now, what do I mean by this? So your resume is typically written in reverse chronological order. So your most current experience is kind of at the top of your resume, and your past experience is at the bottom of your resume. So you can choose to go reverse chronological order like your resume is written in and talk about, the most important, your most current experience first, or you can go reverse chronological with, kind of how you got to where you are today. You're going to have to make that choice depending on the type of role you've applied for. Now, insider tip on all of that, us interviewers, we kind of want to know the most current stuff you've been doing and how it relates to the position you've applied for and that we're hiring for. So you're probably going to want to go more present in most cases than more past to start. Now, that doesn't mean you just can completely skip out the past, just go in that reverse chronological order. But in some jobs, you may be looking to make a career change, and that more past-like experience is actually more relevant to the job you're applying for. So you may want to introduce that sooner than later. So you'll have to make a choice. There is no right or wrong way to doing this, but my preference as an interviewer is that you start with more current work if it truly relates to that position that you're applying for, okay? Number 5, past, present, past, future. Let me say that again. Present, past, future. This is how you can structure your example, okay? And this is how you can structure your answer. So we talked about reverse chronological order, whatever you decide here. And you can use these 3 headings in any way you like. But if I was structuring my answer and my most current job related to specifically to the role I'm applying for, I'm going to talk about my present role, my past roles, and then what I hope to attain in the future, either in my professional development and or with this organization that I'm applying for. So present, past, future, remember those terms, build out your answer using those headings. And that will help you structure a beautiful response. The script I'm about to show you will give you those headings and show you exactly how you can build out a great, fantastic response. And the last tip here, number 6, please practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. So before you get to that interview, you need to make sure you're practicing your answer. How do you do that? You practice saying it out loud, you practice saying it in front of a mirror, you record yourself on your computer or your phone so you can see how you respond to this type of question, and you tailor your response each time you watch yourself or hear yourself and hear little things that you think, oh, I should tighten that the way I say that up, or oh, my tone is wrong here, or I'm not smiling enough. That's what gets you feeling confident going to that interview room, so that if you are asked this question, you can just knock it out of the park. Now, as I promised, I have a script. I'm going to go through this script with you. Of course, it's just a generic script based on a fictitious role. You can change this any way you like, but I'm going to go through those sections where we talk about present, past, and future so that you can see how you can build out the perfect response. Here we go. So talking in the present. I'm currently a marketing manager for ABC Inc. We sell a wide range of products, and I excel at making connections, past marketing campaigns with current marketing campaigns that might not be related at first glance. For example, when our marketing department was conceiving of the strategy for marketing a new line of widgets aimed at older customers, I brought together data from not only past fitness tracker campaigns, but also all our campaigns aimed at this age group, and figured out that the best platform for a heavy ad push would be Facebook instead of TikTok, which is for a younger generation. The resulting campaign exceeded sales goals by almost 30%. I've also been taking online courses in different data visualization tools to help me communicate my analysis in a more digestible way. That's present, that's talking about your achievements. That is what will sell you out of the gate answering this question. Now let's go to the past. Before this job, I was a social media coordinator for Acme Co., where I learned a lot about social media strategy, but also really fell in love with the numbers side of things. During my first year, I took on the project of analyzing all our social media marketing campaigns from the last decade and presented my findings to senior management. Even as an undergrad, I was drawn to digital marketing strategy. I was a communications major, but took a number of marketing classes and was also responsible for advertising events to students and people in the local area for a fundraising group I was part of. With a very small budget, I figured out how to draw more than 200 people to a fundraising event we held. That's talking about your past as it relates to the role you're applying for. Now let's get into the future. As I continue to hone my data analysis skills, I'm really looking to find a role that puts this at the forefront of my day-to-day work while keeping me immersed in marketing world. The marketing manager role at your company feels like a perfect next step for me. That response is succinct, to the point, gives you your present, your past, your future. Now I've got some context as a hiring manager or recruiter. Now I'm excited to hear what you're gonna say next, and we're gonna get into that interview. And for you, you are delivering an answer with confidence, which sets you up on the right track to begin your entire interview. It is a wonderful way to start. Follow that script, tailor it to your needs, follow the 6 tips I gave you. You will rock your interview and be able to answer this question without a doubt. All right, well, that's it for this week. Remember to like, subscribe. Also, in the details, in the description below, just for you YouTube subscribers, you have access to my Interview Accelerator Platinum Academy. It is a digital course on how to prepare and ace any interview or recruitment process you've been through. As a YouTube follower, you get it at 50% off. The discount code is in the description below. Grab that, get the course, get preparing for your interview so you get hired the first time, every time. Have a great day. Until next time, we'll see you then.